Hello all you shining stars, welcome to my channel Shining Star Soup. It's time for another tips your registry agent may not tell you, and in today's video I am diving into driver's licenses, including out of province driver's licenses. Now keep in mind, as my little disclaimer, this video is not meant for anybody under the age of 18 because chances are I might swear because that's just how I feel. Now the information that I'm going to give you is first-hand knowledge as working as a registry agent for 4 years in the province of Alberta. I haven't been in registries for about a couple years, so there is a chance that some of these rules may not apply because the government tended to change rules all the time. But this information that I'm going to give you in this video is still going to be helpful if you're new to the province and the things that you need to know and should know. Alright, so I'm going to jump right into this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I truly appreciate the support. Hit the like button, leave a comment if you have any further questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, my word is not law, obviously. I'm just here to help you out and give you advice. Alright, so my first most valuable piece of advice that I can give you is to save yourself 3 to 4 trips to the registry office. Yeah, believe me, I have seen people come 3, 4, sometimes 5 times because they get different information from different registry agents and they bring the right thing that they're supposed to bring the first time, but they miss something. So you might want to take notes for yourself just to write off, just to save yourself the hassle. Okay, so the 2 items that you absolutely need when you are getting a driver's license, especially from out of province, is a birth certificate or your passport. And the passport does need to be valid, but you can do either or, a birth certificate or a passport. If you're coming in from out of province, you are also going to need a proof of address. Now, a proof of address can be a rental agreement, a lease agreement, or a mortgage agreement, or a letter. But, and this is something that your registry agent might not tell you the first time, the letter has to be an official letter. So, the best letter that you can bring is going to be, if you can't get a hold of a rental, is a utility bill. Now you're probably asking me now, well, what do you do if you don't have a utility bill? Bank account, your bank account information. But you can't just go to the bank and have them print you off a statement. Half the time the registry agent will not accept a printed off bank statement. It has to have your bank information. Now you could pull it up on your phone, where you have your bank information there and it's going to show the address and the bank account number. The thing is, you can't even do that because they need to have the information. The thing is, they're thinking that you can go to the bank and give any address you want. They would want a mailed bank statement. So if you don't have any utilities in your name, go to your bank and get your bank to mail you a statement, and you can bring the whole letter to the registry as a proof of address. So rental or lease agreement, mortgage agreement, utility bill, or mailed bank statement. Most of the time people would come in with a mailed bank statement because it was the easiest, but you have to show that proof of address. Proof of Alberta address. Obviously, they want to know that you live in Alberta to give you an Alberta driver's license. Alright, what else is there? Okay, so if you're coming from out of province, you can give them your driver's license, but if you've lost your driver's license in your other province for whatever reason, you are going to need to bring a driver's abstract. And the driver's abstract has to say the date first licensed, is one of the things that they're going to look for. And your driver's license number. They don't really care about, demerits and if you're a shitty driver, because there's a lot of people that are shitty drivers that come from other provinces. But if you don't have your driver's license, make sure you have a driver's abstract. That'll help you out. And a number one tip as well that I can give you if you're wanting to exchange an out-of-province driver's license is to come before, at the very least, come about an hour before closing. To change over a driver's license is a lot of steps. It usually can take between 30 to 45 minutes. 30 being the bare minimum, because there's a lot of information that needs to be checked. There's a lot of information that needs to be reviewed before you're going to get that driver's license. So do yourself a favor, do the registry agent a favor, and save yourself any further headaches by making sure you come in at the very least, an hour before closing if you're going to exchange a license. Because 9 times out of 10, they will tell you, oh, sorry, we cannot do this for you right now. If you are that asshole, and I do say asshole, again, not for under 18 audience. If you're that asshole that comes in 30 minutes before closing thinking that, oh, I'm just going to exchange my out-of-province driver's license, guess what? You're not. It takes time, people. Just save yourself the aggravation, and everybody around you the aggravation. All right, so another thing, keeping on the out-of-province driver's licenses, licenses are exchanged from class to class, meaning that if you have, I don't know what the classes are anymore if you're in another province, but if you have a license that you have a big truck, you can drive big trucks, you can drive buses, you can drive taxis because you have that class 1 license or that trucker's license, whatever it's called in Ontario or BC, you will get a direct exchange for class 1 in Alberta. Keep in mind, for class 1 top line driver's licenses, you do need a driver's medical if you're exchanging that out of province license. So don't forget that driver's medical and get one done in Alberta. It has to be recent. I believe it's 3 months. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, if you are getting your class 1, you need that driver's medical. With that said, also, in Alberta now, they used to have class 1 being a broad term where it automatically included air brakes. However, now, at least when I was last in registries, we now had to include the endorsement, which is the endorsement Q in Alberta, Q meaning air brakes. And when you are exchanging your license, if you have air brakes, make sure that when they print off the little form that you're going to have to sign and initial everywhere, that there is a Q. Even if you are a class 1, make sure there is a Q. Because registry agents are human. I have seen registry agents forget the Q, the air brakes endorsement. It's going to cause you to run into a lot of hassle in the future. So do your due diligence and make sure that the registry agent has transferred your driver's license properly. You can't just assume that they know what they're doing. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they've had a hard day, and sometimes things are missed. Again, tips for you, not for me. I'm not in registries anymore. I don't care what you do. Alright, yeah, so you want to make sure you have the endorsements. Same if you have a class 2, a class 5, and you have air brakes, the code is Q. Alright, another thing is, to get your air brakes in Alberta, you have to take an air brakes course from a licensed academy, which means you actually have to dish out anywhere from $200 to $300 to go take a course that sometimes is only maybe a day or 2 days. Then you have to take that form, and they have to have that form to get your knowledge test. Take your knowledge test, and then you're going to have to pay either an additional $22.45. It's $17.60 for the knowledge test, $22.45 to exchange to put your air brakes on your license, or the best and easiest way, at least to save yourself $23, is to do it all at once. So if you're upgrading your license, or you are exchanging, or whatever you're doing, save yourself money and get everything done at once. So that's, air brakes is ridiculously expensive. You're paying $400 at the end of the day to get your air brake endorsement. Yay! All right. And another tip that a lot of registry agents will not tell you, and this is a big one. Your driver's license, whether you're exchanging a driver's license or a photo identification card, is going to take 7 to 10 days, which means you're going to be stuck with a temporary license and no photo ID if you don't have a passport for 7 to 10 days. And no, you cannot pay extra to get that driver's license shipped to you sooner, because the driver's licenses come from Ontario, not from Alberta. So you cannot have, at least the last time I worked at registries, you cannot pay more for speedier shipping. Just throwing that out there. As far as I know, that could have changed. Why? Anyway, my number one tip: lose your license. As long as you have a second piece of ID, like Alberta, your healthcare card, you will get your temporary driver's license. Or if you want to keep your license for sentimental value and see how you've changed over the years, just go up to the registry and say, I lost my license. Oh, I could get in so much trouble for telling you guys this tip. But if you've stayed and you've been sitting down for 11 minutes watching my video, you deserve that tip. Lose your license. Lose your license. You get what I'm saying here? And that way you won't be stuck without photo ID for 7 to 10 days. There you go. All right. And again, for those of you coming out of province, remember to get your Alberta healthcare card as well, because to get Alberta healthcare, you need the same things. Again, passport or photo radar, passport or photo ID, and your proof of address. Okay, and a little summing it up, in Alberta you can get your learner's license at age 14, but you have to wait until you are 16 before you take a road test to get your class 5. Now, this is kind of another tip. I definitely recommend you getting a class 5 license, but we have a graduated licensing thing, whereas you're going to have to take 2 road tests. Your basic road test, which is a short half-hour road test, and then your advanced road test, which is usually, it's more money and more time. So they take you out for an hour to do that. However, a class 5 basic license gives you the same privileges and less restrictions than a learner's class, but you can easily just have a basic class 5 license and not worry about upgrading. The only reason why I upgraded when I did is because I got a little letter in the mail that said, you need to take another road test. No, you don't. You can perfectly drive your whole life on just a basic license. The only time you need to upgrade your license are for 2 reasons. Number 1, if you want to upgrade your license, like if you want your taxi license, which is class 4, or you want a class 2 or class 1, then you have to have an advanced license. But if you're not planning on upgrading your license anytime in your life, you're fine with class 5 basic license. And demerits. If you're someone that speeds a lot, and if you're someone that doesn't want to be stuck with an restricted driver's license, going from here to there, then you'll want to upgrade your license, just because I believe the class 5 only allows you 5 or 8 demerits before they put you on suspension. Like, they would suspend you for 30 days, your driver's license, if you keep on getting these speeding tickets, or not photo radar, actual speeding tickets. That's the difference. Photo radar does not go on your driver's license abstract. Rather you pay it or not, right? Again, if you watch my last video about the photo radar in Alberta, you are eventually going to have to pay those tickets. And, oh man, I lost my train of thought and completely forgot where I was going with that. Oh, but if you have an advanced license, you are allowed 15 demerits before you get a 30-day suspension. So save yourself some money if you aren't a speeder and you aren't wanting to upgrade your license. Save yourself some money. Save yourself lots of money, because an advanced road test is going to be like $120, I think, for the 1 hour, plus $22.45 to upgrade your license or just renew it, which would be $84.45. driver's licenses are generally good for 5 years. Well, they are good for 5 years. There are very limited circumstances where they will only allow you to get a 1 year or a 1 year license, but it's very rare, and just save yourself the hassle. So just remember that. All right, so to sum up the video, now that I've kept you here for almost 16 minutes, almost 60 minutes, remember, you need a birth certificate and proof of address. Birth certificate or passport and proof of address to get your Alberta healthcare card or exchange and out of province driver's license. Get a photo ID card for the first time. Photo ID card, yeah, for the first time. And if you're coming from another province, you need your previous driver's license or a driver's abstract, a current driver's abstract that shows your date first licensed and your driver's license number information. And make sure to do your due diligence when you are exchanging out a province driver's license. If you have air brakes, make sure that class Q is on that license. They might have taken it off. If you have class 1, they might have taken it off or it's not required anymore. So again, don't quote me on that, but if you have a class 2, a class 3, a class 4, they are going to have that Q for your air brakes. And yeah, that's going to sum up this video. So I hope this video helped you, especially if you are new to Alberta and you're wanting to exchange that province driver's license. I didn't dive into everything. This is just a quick little tips to save yourself some time. Remember, if you're exchanging driver's license from out of province, do it at least an hour before. Like, don't wait till the last hour to exchange your license. Do it in the morning. Do it in the afternoon. Do it on a day that is not in the first and the last week of the month if you can help it. All right, so leave a comment down below if you have any more questions. Questions are reviewed. They won't be published right away, and if I can help you, I will. All right, have a shining star day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and keep being shining stars.